Welcome back to Occult Archives. You know us, we're all about digging deep into those books that make history, the ones that people whisper about, the ones that sometimes people are even a little afraid of, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The books with a bit of a dark reputation, the ones that make you wonder if there's something more to them.
Exactly. And so this time, for episode 95, we're going on a deep dive into the Hermetic Arcanum. It's a text that claims to have the inside scoop on the Philosopher's Stone. And, we got to try and make sense of it all.
Yeah, break it down for our listeners, sift through the mysteries, and see if we can figure out what it's really trying to tell us.
So what's interesting is this text, the Hermetic Arcanum, it's like, boom, right off the bat, it throws you a curveball. I mean, if you're thinking it's all going to be like, hey, here's the recipe, go make the Philosopher's Stone, you're going to be surprised. It starts with ethics,
Yeah, it really does. It lays this foundation of the fear of the Lord, which it says leads to charity and love.
right? It's like, hold on, I thought we were going to be cooking up gold here, not talking about being good people.
And this ethical foundation, it's not just a side note, it's directly tied to the ultimate goal. The golden prop, as they call it. It's not meant for personal gain, it's meant for good works.
Right. Supporting temples, helping those in need, even freeing people who are being oppressed. It's like they're saying, this knowledge comes with a huge responsibility, folks.
Exactly. It's a really interesting perspective, and it sets a very different tone from how we might typically imagine alchemy. It's not just about material transformation, it's about aligning with a higher moral purpose.
So who does this book say should even try to understand these things? It's very clear. This knowledge is a gift from God. You got to be pure of heart, totally dedicated, leave all those worldly desires behind.
Yeah, definitely. It even warns certain types of people against even starting on this path. If you're caught up in the hustle and bustle of public life, or even if you're just constantly busy with your own private affairs, the demands of daily life.
Right? Running a business, raising a family, whatever.
hmm
It says this stuff requireth the whole man. Like you got to be all in or don't even bother.
Yeah, it's not a part-time hobby. This is a complete dedication of your time, your energy, your focus.
And if you're arrogant, forget about it. It basically says pride is a one-way ticket to the wrong side of things.
Yeah, it's pretty direct about that.
But if you pray, if you do good deeds, stay away from all the distractions and, keep your mind clear and tranquil, that's how you open yourself up to divine light.
Right. It's that inner preparation that allows you to really grasp the hidden truths that are embedded in this work. It's about creating a space for deeper understanding, not just about collecting knowledge.
And it doesn't hold back on criticizing those who, well, maybe got lost along the way. It calls out those alchemists who are just stuck in endless experiments, just going through the motions. Sublimations, distillations, solutions, congelations. It lists them all.
It's like they're saying, don't get bogged down in the technical details without a true understanding of the principles behind them.
Exactly. And these guys, it says, they're drowning in Libyan quicksands. Pretty vivid imagery, right?
Yeah. It's like they're trapped in this endless cycle of experiments that aren't leading them anywhere.
But there's hope. If you're stuck in those metaphorical quicksands, the Arcanum says what you need is a faithful guide and master.
Right. Someone who can illuminate the plain way of nature and light of truth. It's about getting back to the core principles, not about making things more complicated.
So who's this ideal student then? The studious tyro, they call him. Someone with a sharp mind, focused and dedicated, with a burning passion for knowledge.
Yeah, but not just any knowledge, right? It emphasizes being skilled in natural philosophy, understanding the natural world, how things work. That's essential.
Oh, and of course, pure of heart, good character, and a strong faith in God, all the good stuff.
It's interesting, though. It says even if you don't have a lot of practical experience in chemistry, you can still succeed if you have an ingenious and sedulous companion.
Yeah, like a really smart and hardworking partner in crime.
Yeah, it highlights the importance of collaboration and having someone who can complement your skills and knowledge.
But watch out for those false philosophers,
Yeah.
the ones who don't really know what they're talking about.
That's a big warning in the text. Those who are just trying to lead you astray with their fancy words and empty promises.
And be careful about books that seem too easy to understand, especially those filled with secret names and hidden operations. The Arcanum is pretty suspicious of those.
Yeah, it's like if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
It says the real deal, the real wisdom, is often hidden. Like the best philosophers, they don't just spell everything out.
Exactly. It's a call for discernment, for really engaging with the material and thinking critically about what you're reading.
And it name drops some big names. Among the ancients, it's Hermes Trismegistus and Maurianus Romanus. More recent figures, Count Trevisan and especially Ramundus Lilius.
Yeah, Lilius is like the MVP in this text.
Right. It recommends his former testament, codicil, and practice, as most reads. They apparently hold the key to understanding the first matter, degrees of fire, and the regimen of the whole.
Yeah, it's like the Arcanum is saying, if you want to understand the core principles of alchemy, go read Lilius.
But there's this one thing Lilius doesn't really go into. This clear water. They call it the basis of the philosopher's work, something everyone is looking for but few find.
It's described as being both obvious and incredibly difficult to grasp. Like it's right there in front of you, but you just can't see it.
And then it mentions this anonymous Polish author who supposedly spills the beans on this clear water in works like Novum Lumen Chemicum. It's like, this guy knows what's up.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, go find this guy's work if you want to unlock the secrets of the clear water.
And then we get into the language of alchemy, which, let's be honest, can be really weird and cryptic. The Arcanum says alchemists, they love to use symbols and allegorical figures.
Yeah, like Senior's Table, the pictures of Rosarius, Flamel's stuff, and Michael Maris's emblems. It's a whole visual language.
And it's not just about being obscure, it's about expressing deeper truths in ways that only those who are initiated can understand.
Right. It's like they're protecting this knowledge from those who aren't ready for it or who might misuse it.
And when it comes to the big secret, the Philosopher's Stone, the text is crystal clear. It's not some supernatural thing. It's totally within the realm of nature and art.
Yeah, it emphasizes the importance of understanding the fundamental forces of Sol and Luna, the sun and moon, which in alchemy represent gold and silver, but also broader principles of active and passive forces.
So no magic wands or spells here. It's about working with nature, understanding its principles, and using your skills to guide the process.
But, and this is a big BUT, the text acknowledges that different alchemists describe the stone in different ways.
Yeah, sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's 2, 3, 4, 5 things. They even contradict themselves.
Right. But the Arcanum says, hey, don't get hung up on the differences in wording. They're all talking about the same fundamental thing.
It's like they're looking at the same elephant from different angles and describing what they see.
Exactly. The underlying principles are the same, even if the specific terminology and symbols they use might differ.
But here's the thing. The text warns us that alchemists weren't always straightforward with their language. They used deceitful windings, doubtful speeches, even contradictions to hide their true meaning.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, we're going to make this as confusing as possible so only the truly dedicated will figure it out.
And they were especially careful about revealing their golden branch, which sounds like a super secret key to the whole thing.
There's this imagery associated with it too, shadowy groves, gloomy valleys. It's like they're hiding it in plain sight.
And it won't yield to force. You can't just grab it. You have to understand it, be led to it.
And the clue they give is Dame Venus birds, like those doves associated with Venus, representing love, beauty, and harmony.
So what about metals? The text lays down a basic rule. You want to perfect and multiply metals, you got to work with their inherent nature.
Yeah, it's like you can't turn lead into gold if you're fighting against the very essence of what lead is.
Like begets like. You can only get more of something from that same something. It's alchemical logic.
But nature needs a helping hand. That's where the art of the alchemist comes in.
It's about coaxing out the potential that's already there, not about forcing something unnatural to happen.
And this potential is especially present in perfect metals, like gold and silver.
Yeah.
They have this perfect seed hidden inside them.
It's like a blueprint for greater things.
And the Arcanum says, anyone who can extract that seed using the philosopher's solution has found the golden ticket, the royal highway to alchemical success.
And there's this awesome quote, "In gold, the seeds of gold do lie, though buried in obscurity."
It's like the potential for greatness is already there. You just have to know how to unlock it.
Now, the kingly work, that's what they call the process of making the Philosopher's Stone. Well, there are a lot of different opinions on that.
Yeah, some say it's only made of gold and silver. Others say you need mercury, sulfur, even salt.
And the same authors, they'll be like, oh, it's made of one thing. And then later they're like, oh, no, it's 2, 3, 4, even 5 things. It can get confusing.
Right. It's like they can't make up their minds.
But the Arcanum says, chill out. They actually all agree on the core idea, even if they express it in different ways.
It's like they're all describing the same elephant, but from different angles.
And then the Arcanum gives its own take. 2 things make the whole thing work. Gold and silver. prepared the right way. It's like a natural union, male and female, creating something even greater than themselves.
It's emphasizing the foundational role of gold and silver in this alchemical process. They're the starting point, the raw materials that you need to work with.
But not just any gold and silver will do. It has to be pure, untouched, full of life and spirit.
Yeah, not the stuff you get from the average Joe on the street. It has to be pristine, never mixed with anything else.
They even use this dramatic language. Unspotted and incorrupt virginity. They shouldn't have suffered martyrdom by being dissolved or combined.
It's like they're saying, treat these metals with respect, they're sacred, they hold a special power.
And don't even think about mixing them the wrong way. They call that a fratricide, like it's a huge no-no.
It's like a violation of the natural order.
Now, they get even more specific. Gold, that's the masculine principle, the active force. Silver, that's the feminine, the receptive matrix of nature.
Right. Gold is the seed, silver is the womb, but it's not a simple passive thing. Silver has its own active qualities too.
And they're not talking about the actual moon in the sky when they say Luna.
No, it's more of a principle, a force.
And you got to be careful. Don't combine two active principles. It won't work.
It's like trying to start a fire with two flames. You need fuel and a spark.
And they give this cryptic advice: unite Gabricius to Bea, sister to brother. Now, who are Gabricius and Bea?
That's where the symbolism comes in. They're likely code names for specific substances or principles. Maybe sulfur and mercury, but in a philosophical sense.
Okay, so for those alchemists who believe sulfur and mercury are the fundamental ingredients, the Arcanum's like, hold up, let me explain.
Yeah, it's like they're translating the secret language.
By sulfur, they often mean gold, and by mercury, they mean silver.
So it's not about the literal substances, it's about the principles they represent.
And, they quote Lilius again, don't even try to work without mercury and silver for silver, or mercury and gold for gold.
It's highlighting the essential pairing of these substances. You need both to achieve the desired transformation.
And no third parties allowed. They're very clear about that. Love admitteth not a third, and wedlock is terminated in the number of two.
It's like a sacred bond between these two principles. You don't mess with that.
But then they throw in this curveball. Spiritual love polluteth not any virgin. It's like they're suggesting a kind of purification process for the silver before it unites with the gold.
Yeah, like a spiritual preparation to make it even more receptive to the gold's influence.
And the whole point of this union, it's to create something new, something even greater than the sum of its parts.
It's about procreation, about the birth of a new substance.
But for that to happen, both the gold and the silver need to be absolutely pure.
Yeah, no impurities, no contamination. It's like they're saying, you want a healthy baby, you need healthy parents.
And the result of this union, they call it a king. It's a highly symbolic way of describing the creation of the Philosopher's Stone.
Right. The stone is like the ultimate offspring of this alchemical marriage.
Now let's talk about tincture, the stuff that supposedly transmutes base metals. The Arcanum says, forget about trying to get tincture without working with gold and silver first.
Yeah, it's like trying to build a house without a foundation.
Gold, it's got the red tincture. Silver, it's got the white. They're the source of it all because they're the only perfect metals.
They're filled with pure sulfur, which is what gives them their tincturing power.
So if you're using mercury in your work, it has to get its tincture from either gold or silver.
It's like you can't give something you don't have. The mercury needs to be infused with that tincturing power first.
Perfect metals, they've got two things: tincture and fixation. Tincture transforms, fixation makes it permanent.
And they can transfer those qualities to imperfect metals if you prepare them the right way.
But you got to do it right. You need the specific sulfur and arsenic for each metal to give it the strength to multiply.
It's about matching the right ingredients, the right qualities.
Now, mercury, it's the best imperfect metal for receiving tincture from gold and silver.
Yeah, once it's got that tincture, it can then multiply it and pass it on to other metals.
But first, it needs to be filled with this invisible sulfur. It's like a special kind of sulfur that makes the mercury more receptive to the tincture.
It's like priming the canvas before you paint on it.
Here's something interesting. A lot of alchemists, they were obsessed with trying to extract tincture directly from gold.
Yeah, they thought they could isolate it and make it even more powerful.
But the Arcanum is like, guys, give it up. It's a waste of time.
It's like trying to squeeze blood from a stone.
They say gold's tincture can't be separated from its body. Gold is perfect. It's the most complete substance in nature.
It's the result of a perfect union between sulfur and mercury. You can't break that bond without destroying the whole thing.
Any liquid you force out, it's just dissolved gold, not the true tincture.
And even if you could somehow separate it, it would be corrupted, weakened.
It's like trying to extract the essence of a flower by crushing it. You're just going to get a mess, not the pure fragrance.
And if you try to use this corrupted tincture, it's not going to work the way you want it to.
First, it won't penetrate other metals. It won't be able to truly transform them.
It's like trying to dye a fabric with watered-down paint. It's just not going to be as vibrant or lasting.
And second, it won't fix. It won't be permanent. It'll just wash away under scrutiny.
It's like building a house on sand. It's not going to stand the test of time.
So the Arcanum is basically saying, hey, all you alchemists out there, if you've been following these guys who are trying to force tincture out of gold, stop. You're on the wrong path.
Find a new way, a way that aligns with the natural order, a way that works with the inherent properties of these substances.
Focus on time and effort, not money. And be wary of those who promise quick riches. They're probably just trying to scam you.
It's about patience, dedication, and a genuine love for the art.
Now let's talk about Philosopher's Mercury. This stuff is notoriously difficult to pin down.
Yeah, it's like they intentionally made it as confusing as possible.
They use all these different names, different descriptions, different ways of talking about it. It's like a maze.
And they're doing it on purpose to veil the truth, to make it difficult for the unworthy to understand.
The Arcanum even suggests that you might need more than logic to figure it out. You need intuition, a gut feeling.
Yeah, it's like you have to feel your way through it, not just think your way through it.
So they describe this Mercury in 3 ways. First, after you've purified it through philosophical sublimation, they call it their Mercury.
Yeah, that's the sublimated, purified form.
Second, when gold is broken down into its most basic form, they also call that Philosopher's Mercury.
And they use all these other names for it too. Rebus, chaos, the whole world.
It's like it contains everything you need for the work, all the potential is there.
And third, sometimes they even call the elixir itself their Mercury, just to make things even more confusing.
Right. It's like, come on guys, give us a break.
But the text is clear. Mercury, in its true sense, it's volatile. The elixir, it's fixed. They're not the same thing, even if they share some similarities.
And only the most insightful, those who are really in tune with the alchemical principles, can understand this.
It's a test of discernment, of being able to see through the layers of symbolism and misdirection.
Now, the elixir itself, it's kind of like Philosopher's Mercury, but on a higher level. It's like heavenly mercury, the most pure and refined substance.
It's without any of the limitations of ordinary matter.
And it can take on the qualities of whatever it's mixed with, and it multiplies those qualities.
Yeah, it's like a universal enhancer. It takes what's already there and amplifies it to its fullest potential.
But getting to that elixir, it's no walk in the park. The Arcanum says the first step, the philosophical sublimation of mercury, it's a Herculean task.
It's like a trial by fire, a test of your dedication and willpower.
The entrance to this stage, it's guarded by these horned beasts, scary symbolic figures.
Yeah, they represent the difficulties and obstacles that you have to overcome.
And only the symbols of Diana, purity and the moon, and Venus's doves, love and beauty, can appease them.
It's like you need to have the right attitude, the right intentions to even begin.
And even then, it's not guaranteed. You need fate on your side.
It's about surrendering to the process, trusting that you're being guided, even when it's difficult.
Now, the philosophical earth, that's another key ingredient. They describe its preparation like plowing a field, breaking up the hard earth so it can receive the seeds.
It's a metaphor for the initial stages of the work, preparing the raw materials for transformation.
And the text is very clear. Philosopher's Mercury. It's not just ordinary mercury.
No, it's something special, extracted from it, but transformed, purified.
They quote Geber on this, a big name in alchemy.
He said it's the purest essence of mercury, something that's hidden within it.
And they give it all these different names depending on what aspect they're talking about. Sometimes it's earth, sometimes water, sometimes sulfur.
It's all about perspective. Different names for the same thing depending on how you're looking at it.
Ultimately, they even call it Venus, the hermaphrodite. It's like it embodies both masculine and feminine principles.
It's a symbol of wholeness, of the union of opposites.
And they say this argent vive, the mercury, it has 2 parts, natural and unnatural.
The natural part, that's the good stuff, the pure essence. But it's hidden. It needs to be purified, brought out.
The unnatural part, that's the impurities, the stuff that's been added on, the contamination.
And the key is to separate them, to purify the mercury and remove the impurities.
They describe this dry and most precious liquor, the radical moisture of metals. They call it glass.
It's not ordinary glass, though. It's something internal, hidden within the metals.
And it comes out not with intense heat, but with a gentle, natural fire.
It's about coaxing it out, not forcing it.
They mention a bunch of methods people have tried. Calcination, sublimation, working with glass vessels, all sorts of stuff.
But then they shift gears and start talking about the creation story in Genesis, the separation of heaven and earth, the spirit moving upon the waters.
It's like they're saying, look, the principles are there in nature, in the very creation of the world.
It's about understanding those deeper principles, not just about following recipes.
They talk about the cleansing of argent vive, how it's got this kind of original sin, a double impurity.
One from the earth, one from water.
But these are external impurities, things that can be removed.
They describe it as a dragon shedding its skin.
And they say the philosophical sublimation of mercury, it's a two-step process.
First, remove the impurities, then add in what's missing.
And the goal is to get to this virgin's milk, a sign that the first gate of the work has been opened.
It's like a milestone on the path, a sign that you're on the right track.
Then they tell this cool story about the Hesperian dragon guarding the philosopher's garden.
It's a mythical creature representing challenges and obstacles.
And to get past it, you got to make it drink from a sevenfold spring.
And only then will Venus and Diana, love and purity, be favorable to you.
Inside the garden, there are these three special flowers: violets, lilies, and amaranths.
They probably represent different stages or principles in the work.
Don't pick them until the stone is ready. They're more potent when they're fresh.
It's about patience, about waiting for the right time.
They even talk about a philosopher's sea with these silver-scaled fishes swimming in it.
It's another allegory, likely representing a specific stage in the work where you have to be really skillful to succeed.
And the stone itself, it comes from the oldest silver mountains and everlasting brooks of gold.
It's the source of all wealth, all purity, all perfection.
But getting it, it's a long journey, a peregrination. You got to travel to both the Indies, bring back precious gems and the purest gold.
It's not just about a physical journey, though. It's about an inner journey, a spiritual quest.
They say there are 7 stones, but the 2 main ones are super important.
One with invisible sulfur, the other with spiritual mercury.
One hot and dry, the other cold and moist. It's all about balance.
They come from the east and west, representing different forces coming together.
And they have the power to color and multiply, which is essential for the stone's tincture.
That's what allows it to transform other metals.
Now, they tell this story about a winged virgin. She needs to be cleansed, impregnated by the spiritual seed of the male principle, and then she gives birth to this powerful offspring.
It's highly symbolic, but it's likely describing the purification and union of key alchemical principles.
And then there's this other cool story about an eagle and a lion. The eagle eats the lion, then turns into a black crow, which then flies out and brings back this special mater from the clouds.
And after being moistened, it sheds its black wings and becomes a white swan.
It's a metaphor for transformation, for the different stages that the matter goes through.
It's like a visual representation of the alchemical process.
The Arcanum says, nature, it does everything gradually. And philosophy, it should follow nature's lead.
Take your time. Don't rush the process.
So the extremes of the stone, that's natural mercury at the beginning and the perfect elixir at the end.
And everything in between, those are the means, the steps you take to get there.
The matter, the operations, and the signs, the colors you see.
It's all about understanding those stages, those transformations.
And the material means they're extracted in a specific order. First, purified mercury and perfect metals, then the 4 elements, then sulfur, then leaven or ointments.
It's a carefully orchestrated sequence, each stage building on the previous one.
And the keys of the work, those are the operations you perform: solution, ablution, reduction, and fixation.
Each one has a specific purpose, a specific effect on the matter.
And the colors, they're the signs, the indicators of progress. Black, then white, then orange, then red.
It's like a visual language telling you what's happening inside the vessel.
But if you see black again after white or red too early, that's a bad sign.
It's like a warning that something's not right, that you need to adjust the process.
And the stone, it goes through these 4 digestions, each one corresponding to one of the operations.
The first one, everything's dissolved, it's chaos.
The second one, light appears, things start to separate.
The third one, the soul is rejoined to the body.
And the fourth one, everything's fixed, perfected.
It's like a cycle of death and rebirth, dissolution and coagulation.
The whole process is like a mirror of the creation of the cosmos.
From chaos to order, from darkness to light.
And it's like the creation of Adam, too, from mud to a living being.
It's about the infusion of spirit into matter, the creation of something new and unique.
And the elements, they're the key players in all of this. Earth, water, air, and fire.
They're constantly transforming, interacting, circulating.
And everything starts in water.
That's the primordial state, the source of life and generation.
So the stone, it has to be dissolved into water first.
And then the air goes through these 7 cycles, purifying and refining the matter.
And fire, it's the driving force, the catalyst for transformation.
But it has to be carefully controlled or it can destroy everything.
External fire, that's what the alchemist controls. But there's also internal fire, the fire within the matter itself.
They have to work together in harmony.
And the stone, it moves between earth and heaven, material and spiritual.
It's like it's ascending and descending, going through a cycle of purification and refinement.
And the elements, they circulate in this double whirl, a greater and a lesser circulation.
The greater one fixes the earth elements, the lesser one refines each element individually.
And there are 3 circles within this circulation, each one with a specific function.
The first one, evacuation, removes excess moisture.
The second one, restoration, replenishes the matter with what it needs.
And the third one, digestion, cooks the matter, breaks it down, prepares it for fixation.
In fire, it's not just one thing. There are many different kinds of fire.
Celestial fire, terrestrial fire, innate fire.
And the philosophers, they describe 3 kinds of fire: natural, unnatural, and contranatural.
Each one has a specific role in the work, a specific effect on the matter.
And the contranatural fire, it's actually just the first degree of innate fire.
It's about breaking down before building up, corruption before generation.
And the unnatural fire, the one the alchemist applies, it actually helps to multiply the natural fire within the matter.
It's about amplifying the potential that's already there.
And they even call their water fire sometimes because it's so hot and powerful.
It's the burning water, the tincture fire that dissolves even perfect metals.
In generation, it needs 2 kinds of fire, internal and external.
One is the spark of life within the matter. The other is the force that awakens it.
So in the alchemical work, you've got the internal fire of the stone and the external fire that the alchemist applies.
They're like 2 wheels working together to drive the process forward.
And the external fire, you got to get the degrees just right.
Too much heat and you'll burn everything up. Too little and nothing will happen.
And there are 4 grades of heat, each one with its own purpose.
The water bath, ashes, coals, and flame.
But some alchemists, they simplify it to just 3.
And they use all sorts of different names and terms, which can be really confusing.
But the main thing is to understand the principles, to know how to apply the heat in a way that mimics nature.